What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Visual Effects Artists React. I hope you're having a wonderful Saturday, or Friday if you're on the website. We got some cool clips to look at here. Gladiator 2 just dropped, and it's got some pretty crazy scenes in it.
You're never gonna rear naked choke coked up baboons.
Also, we're gonna take a look at Jurassic Park 2. I think that's done by hand.
This is such an advanced shot.
Plus, we're gonna look at some Ghostbusters, but we're not gonna look at the ghosts, we're gonna look at the backgrounds.
Whoa, really? What a trip.
I don't wanna spoil it, gonna get into it. Logo. Gladiator 2.
The gods have spoken!
Look at those teeth. Baboons are terrifying, by the way. Like real life baboons, you never want to get in a fight with. They will rip your face off.
They know the soft parts.
That's animated really nicely. Like, that's pretty convincing
That's
right there.
tough.
Like, look at that skin. It looks so real.
Dude, those little micro hairs all down the side of the arm.
Bumps, the skin texture. And they're not photo scanning a baboon.
No, this is entirely created from scratch. And it's an artist or multiple artists literally going through and they sculpt everything, they model everything. And then you have an additional artist come in and texture everything. And they're painting not just like the colors, but all of like the wrinkles and dimples and pores and all that stuff. It all gets like brushed on. And it's like anytime you have a CG animal, especially like a skinned animal like this, you have all the bones interacting with all the muscles connected to those bones and then skin over the top of all that. It's just simulation layers. Friggin' onion.
Friggin' onion, monkey onion.
Is it ever explained why this one baboon doesn't have hair, even though he does have some hair?
Have you never Googled naked chimp?
Yeah, I think it's truly inspired by just being like, whoa, we saw a video of a naked baboon and it was crazy.
It's the freakiest looking thing.
So there's the real one, and there's the CG one.
How do you know that's a real one?
Oh, dude. Oh, how do you know it's the real one? I don't think they modeled that thing. Brother, if that's not real, there's an artist who should be arrested immediately. I have to make a wiener.
Oh, it's just
This is the scene that took me out of it. Like from a CG perspective, really difficult thing to do well. They did a great job, just conceptually.
Yeah.
Like you're never gonna rear naked choke, not even baboons, dude, coked up baboons. You're not gonna rear naked choke a coked up baboon, okay?
A baboon is significantly stronger than a human.
Way stronger. You're not gonna be able to put your hooks in. It's gonna wriggle, it's gonna eat your soft parts. None of them would be alive right now.
Yeah. There were a few parts of this that really stood out to me as being really well done. So one is when he throws the monkey off of him, like, or pulls the teeth out with a chain, and the monkey kind of flies and lands in the dirt like that. It feels really good. It moves really naturally. It comes off of him really naturally. You know, this isn't motion capture. He's not fighting a real monkey actor who's wearing a motion capture suit. So it's really an animator doing it by hand, and totally inventing it from scratch. That's so hard to do. This to me is like, it looks great. For doing a guy wrestling a CG character, this is fantastic. The way he's grabbing it, interacting with it, the lighting, it's pulling at his fabric on his shirt, and the way it throws him and like changes the center of gravity and puts him to the ground.
I can't get over what looks like him just grabbing nothing and spinning around and then throwing himself down. It doesn't look like there's anything interacting with him in real life.
Well, Wren, there's actually a big burly dude in a gray spandex suit.
Really? Because it doesn't look like it.
Wait, is there actually?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he was choking a dude!
He's a dude. He's like a full-on dude.
Oh my gosh, wait, that's so much harder than, what's the paint out there?
Yeah, what is the paint out there?
Dude, there's huge swaths of his legs that are covered by this guy. Do you think he goes to career day in that outfit?
Okay, let's give him a round of applause. Thank you.
It is weird though, Ren, because I also didn't really feel the weight of it.
That's crazy, because I totally felt the weight of it.
It's because the weight distribution isn't the same. He's like up on his shoulder and swinging him around like that as opposed to swinging down around his hip.
Yeah, that center of gravity.
I see that. The center of gravity is technically off.
Well, here's the point. Like, you're talking about accounting for weight in CG. The fact that you guys can tell, or all of us can tell, when an actor's holding an empty cup of coffee.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. That little bit of weight makes a difference. So imagine having to account for the weight of an entire monkey.
But they did such a good job painting it out, keeping the shadow of the guy, adding the shadow of the monkey, dealing with the dust, dealing with the fact that it's grabbing him and interacting with him, having the foresight on set to shoot with somebody that does the same action, so you have real footage that does the real reactions, all that put together. It's just really well done.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, this is really good work.
Let the gods decide!
Oh, you know, not many people can cut it in the gladiator industry. Everyone assumes it's all about strength and honor. But let me tell you a little secret. The key to getting your name out there as a gladiator is marketing. And that's why I use today's sponsor, Squarespace, the all-in-one website platform that helps entrepreneurs like me win the love of the masses. Whether you're just starting out or are already ruling the arena, Squarespace makes it easy to create a website and engage your own adoring fans. Their brand new design intelligence uses cutting-edge AI to give you the advantage in the arena, combining 2 decades of design expertise with their award-winning and flexible templates. Whoa! With Squarespace, I can run an online store to showcase all my Gladiator merch. You want this, don't you? You freaking weirdo. When paired with Squarespace payments, I can receive tributes from fans across the empire instantly, whether they're using Apple Pay, Afterpay, or Klarna. So are you ready to dominate the digital realm? Head to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/corridorcrew to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Now, if you'll excuse me, hey! You guys head back to React, I'll take care of the little guy.
All right, it's time for Animal Fight 2. This one has more nuance because it also involves a human being on the animal.
Are you not entertained? This is a crazy idea.
The rhino looks great. I can immediately tell it's a CG rhino, but the dude looks completely photoreal.
Wait. That's a CG dude?
He is obviously, in many of these shots, a real guy, a real actor. But still, the fact that he never feels like a CG character in this sequence is like a testament to like the approach to filmmaking on these scenes.
So I already noticed something. He's not bucking up and down.
Yeah.
The rhino is like running, but the level of his hips on the rhino is staying the same. And then it cuts to the big wide shot, and he's gung gung.
Yep.
I'm willing to bet that rhino and the rider on him are not real at all.
Yeah.
They're 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, he's on some sort of mount on a track there, and then it's full siege for the wides. Makes sense.
That's some good Sherlock Holmesing you guys are doing right now, because that's exactly what they're doing. Yeah, anytime it's like smooth, then it's a guy on a track. Anytime it's like really moving, CG rhino.
Also, it's like the detail of it. If he's just small enough in the shot, you can get away with having him be CG. You can't quite tell. But if he's large, like in that shot there, that's probably a real dude there.
Yeah. Yeah, all that secondary motion of like the kilt and the skin of the rhino and the muscles and the straps of the saddle.
You know what's cool too is his handling of the straps on the side with his legs.
Yeah, I was gonna say
like pivoting.
Yeah, wow. All the straps, the physics sims of having a skeleton structure for the rhino, muscles on top of it that contract and expand and jiggle that then influence a skin type cloth simulation over that. But then they have another like harness and saddle sim on top of that skin, and they're not clipping and going.
In fact, that harness and saddle is literally pulling in some of the belly fat on the rhino.
Crazy.
It's literally indenting the fat.
Yeah.
So they're simulated together, it looks like.
You know, it's like Weta has like their Loki simulator, which has like fire and water and smoke, and you know, I guess these guys put together their like, I don't know, their blubber system.
Yeah, they have fire and water figured out, but we got rhino fat straps down.
You know, the thing that always gives away CG isn't the rendering, it's the animation. And the animation here is perfect on the guy. Like the guy feels like a real dude riding a rhinoceros. The fact that he never feels like a CG character in this sequence is like, once again, a testament to like the approach to filmmaking on these scenes. One other notable thing about this film is they built some huge sets. Like there's a lot of real stuff, and they really committed to not replacing it. Like they built a whole castle.
Wow.
And they replaced the desert with ocean.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they CG'd the ocean onto the
Dude, that's
desert.
the dream of everyone in a desert.
And they have this big boat assault, and once again, like, they have real boats on the sand, on wheels that they're filming with. And there's so many shots where you're like, oh, they could have just done that all in CGI and saved themselves the money, but they shot it for real. Like that shot right
Yeah, the
there.
boat in the background too.
Yep.
Okay, that's pretty legit.
And this is like a reference dream. If you're working on this as an artist, it's like, thank goodness they have like real boats in the shot. I can match it perfectly. They're not gonna, like if they say, oh, it doesn't look realistic enough, I can then just do the wipe and show them that's the actual boat in the background they filmed.
Yeah.
You know, it's, having reference really protects you as an artist. Like, look at that shot. Look how much they kept in that shot.
Well, they added shields.
Whoa!
They did.
They look good.
Probably because they're like, who are those dudes in the middle? Let's cover them up with shields.
Oh,
Can
the
you
camera
imagine?
guys. You're right. They covered up the camera guys.
Oh my god.
Wait, those are camera guys?
Yes.
Oh,
That,
wow.
I'm sorry, but I can't accept this. That flies in the face of Gladiator lore. You're supposed to leave the cameraman visible.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
You're right.
Wait, really?
You're right.
Have you ever seen in the
Leave
original
camera guys.
Gladiator, there's cameramen visible in the stadium?
Yes.
In the
Oh,
Coliseum?
no, I didn't know that.
You're supposed to leave the cameraman.
Hey, kiddos, listen. This is gonna be some zippy, fast, crazy CGI moment here. This is an older film, 1990. This is a film that demonstrates the effectiveness of a simple effect. If you're ever like, I want to get into VFX, but I can't learn CGI. Yeah, I know how to do some basic masking in After Effects. It's like, this is basic masking in After Effects. These are effects you're about to see here that you can do in 5 minutes on your computer.
I'm willing to bet these might be effects that you can do on your phone now.
Whoa! It's like, there's just a simple cut
was a
juxtaposition.
cut, yeah.
Yeah. He's a ghost right now. Nobody can see him. He's dead.
Whoa. Oh.
They're drawing a mask around him by hand.
Yeah, you can see it on the left side of his neck. I like how they reintroduced some of him when he's in the transparent glass.
Yeah.
That's a nice little touch.
You can't push it with your finger. You're dead.
Basic VFX, right?
Yeah.
But the way it's used in the story, and when they decide to show it to you, like you're built up to see it. You know, it's the magic pattern, right? It's the magician setting up the trick.
All right, if this is the simplest visual effect, how would you do it?
I would actually have the shoe there. In front of the shoe, stick his fingers. Because it's film, you can't tell if he's in the foreground or not because it's two-dimensional. And I just take a bit of the shoe, cut it out, and then stick it over his fingers for a moment and have some transparency. Now, these are all shots you can do by just filming stuff with your camera on a tripod, cut things out, using some masking, and you just literally change transparency of them.
So far, everything I've seen you can do on a phone. You can actually do relatively advanced masking effects in CapCut or various other video editing apps on your phone. So there's this scene from Ghostbusters Frozen Empire that I wanted you guys to take a look at. I want your thoughts on what you're seeing in this whole shot.
These kids are so green screened. This weird video game world comping.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, the lighting's kind of an interesting thing
Yeah.
here because it's like they're trying to make it seem like real concrete, but at the same time, real concrete doesn't stretch at all.
Yeah. And even then, there's like something missing in the tactility of the concrete. There's something about like in the original where they base it off of the puppetry and there's a tactility to it that's really nice. And it's like, it's decent, but I don't feel that same tactility for the stone. I do like some of the elements that they're introducing of like cracking of certain joints when they're stressed too much. That's a cool idea.
Now, what if I was to tell you, I didn't bring this clip for the lion. I brought this clip for the library.
Wait, did
I
Niko
could see
call
that.
it?
So yeah, Niko kind of called it out pretty early. The kids are green screen, but more than that, they couldn't shoot this in New York City.
Of course.
So none of the background is real.
I was feeling that.
So you saw there, it was like, oh, that's weird comping. Ironically, that's part of the stuff we're seeing that is real.
Whoa,
No,
really?
The
What
people
a
are
trick.
comped in for.
That guy's for
it is a
sure.
comp. I'm talking about like the background.
Oh, the
plate.
background's real.
The library was made from scratch. They did a bunch of LiDAR scans of the whole library and all that stuff, but they only used that to reconstruct the entirety of the library stone by stone, getting everything to be as accurate as possible because that needs to be a CG asset so that you can get all the different perspectives of it for all the different shots. But you don't really need to do that for the surrounding area of all the buildings in the background. So normal, like remember on Avengers 2012, they literally recreated the entirety of New York City? They could have done that here, but they're like, that's unnecessary work. We just need to see that. We're never taking the camera down the street. We just see it from the steps of the library here. So they essentially just took footage of the surrounding area and thousands of images and just basically have it all as 2.5D comps.
Wow, that
Like
looks
a shot like
amazing.
this. So they had to go through and paint out all of the people, all of the cars, and then all of the cars you see in the background are CG, and then all of the people are green screen plates. or blue screen plates, I should say.
And that's the part that stuck out to me because like they're all like very flatly lit and didn't quite have the lighting line up with the environment.
Yeah.
So a full CG background shot, tracked in real people on elements, and the camera's far enough away that you're not gonna get any parallax from the camera moving, so you can get away with a 2D cutout. The benefit here is that you get super realistic rendering and animation because they're actually real, but now you have to composite it, and that's a bit of a challenge.
Crazy to think that it's easier to do that than to film on the steps of the library in New York.
Yeah, it's crazy that it is cheaper to recreate the public library here than it is to shoot at the public library and shut down the street for however many weeks they gotta do it.
The library itself looks amazing.
And that was the
They
thing.
did a
is that,
really
like,
nice job with
the
that.
library looks really good.
How fast can you say corridordigital.com and still enunciate it? Fast. As fast as you can go.
Corridordigital.com.
That's pretty good.
Corridordigital.com. So everybody talks about the T-Rex in Jurassic Park 1. Like, got me thinking, we never looked at Jurassic Park The Lost World, the second Jurassic Park, which came out in '97.
Mommy's very angry.
And I wanted to see just how much the T-Rex effects had evolved since the first Jurassic Park. And of course, this is ILM following up with like their history-defining movie, so they're of course going all out and doing the best they possibly can. So did you notice that those doors were CGI the whole time?
The whole time, even at the beginning? Dude, what a shot though.
In my opinion, the T-Rex still looks really good, and in fact looks as good, if not better, than a lot of CGI these days.
They are matching that sort of faded look so perfectly. The compositing is flawless.
They're leaning into the strengths, right? That strong directional light, single source.
Notice all the stuff he interacts with, all the debris.
That's a huge thing, is there's so many things that are real on set, special effects, that are rigged and triggered to fall and get knocked over and be part of the T-Rex's animation. So they are planning out exactly what's happening in these shots. Like they're envisioning it, they got their CG goggles on, the T-Rex is its thing. And that action of like really committing to a vision, committing to an idea, and then getting real things on set to interact goes so far.
When we say that VFX were better in the 90s, this is an example of what we're talking about. It's not that the effects were better, it's the mindset behind them were so much more integrated into everything. They were so much more planned out. Like you're saying, it's like this whole shot was planned out exactly to have all these different things happening, and they just gotta add in the dino.
This is the advantage of not being able to do anything, right? You have to be intelligent in how you approach it, and the net result is something that looks better.
All right, what's CG in the shot?
The cedar sign. No, I was joking, I don't know. Okay, so what is CG in the shot? Well, the
T-Rex.
T-Rex. The car on the left looks real. I mean, honestly, those three main cars in the middle, they look real to me. Maybe it's the stoplight.
Yeah,
Bingo.
The top right one?
Yeah.
Behind the red light?
The entire stoplight structure is CG.
Wait, so I kind of nailed it when I said the cedar sign?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Dang.
Wow.
Dang.
Yeah, that looks great.
And that smoke?
The smoke is
my God.
crazy.
I think those are hand-masked rotoplates for the smoke. I don't think they're doing Z-depth. I could be wrong.
No, you have to though, right?
So Z-depth is just giving you a, like, closer to the camera is darker, farther from the camera is lighter. And you can use that as a mask. So you can have something be like more transparent, the closer it is, less transparent, the farther back it goes, or vice versa. So you can use that, take your T-Rex and take like a smoke layer, put that smoke layer on top of the T-Rex and use that Z-depth on that smoke layer to have the smoke be transparent by the T-Rex's head and less transparent by the T-Rex's tail. However, that's just on top of the T-Rex. You have to then match it to the smoke around it, and that may not be the best way to go about doing it. Sometimes just selecting areas by hand, animating by hand, and just adjusting levels by hand is the way to go too.
Wait though, but there's look at the
volumetric
volumetric rays.
I think that's comp. You see the God rays? You know, the light rays coming through that smoke from the T-Rex? I think that's done by hand in comp. I think somebody's literally rotoing out shapes and animating them and moving them.
And just like making like a 10% darker pass just there and just.
Yep, I could be wrong.
Again, it's just animation, hand-tracked animation
you're getting the details of the smoke passing over the body. Like, it's not just one solid color, like the actual plumage and noise detail in the smoke is actually passing over his body.
This is such an advanced shot, because also when he hits it, the sparks go flying out, and the sparks are all in front of the dinosaur, which I think you could easily do by just extracting out the brightest parts of the shot and layering it back on top. And that's what they're clearly doing here, and they're hitting him with that bounce light underneath.
And it's also a massive moving shot.
Yeah. Yeah, the camera tracking.
Yeah, how do you track a shot like that? Dude, this is, what a
That's
shot.
mind-blowing.
Wait, what the heck kind of store is that?
That's a Blockbuster
What's
video.
a Blockbuster?
Love that they have an advertisement for a real movie with Robin Williams.
Actually, there is no movie starring...
Those are not real movies.
Those are not real movies.
Oh,
Arnold
I saw
Schwarzenegger-
Jack, and I know he's been in one called
He was in Jack.
He was in Jack and the freaking Beanstalks.
There is no Arnold Schwarzenegger in King Lear, and there is no sequel to Jack called Jack and the Beanstalks. Now, here's the really crazy thing about this Easter egg. We're gonna go deep on this Easter egg for a second here.
Okay.
So, Steven Spielberg was the executive producer of Animaniacs. There's an Animaniacs skit about reading Variety, the magazine about Hollywood entertainment business, which is a super inside baseball skit. And there's a joke in there that Yakko makes where Paramount is struggling, so they're casting Arnold Schwarzenegger in King Lear.
Mean Schwarzenegger's doing King Lear.
It's a lyric from an Animaniacs song, and they put it into a poster in Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park 2.
That's amazing. This is the first multiverse bit of IP, I think.
Yes.
Animaniacs and Jurassic Park exist in the same.
Wait,
I know,
holy
it looks like- it
crap,
looks
those
like
guys
a-
are so casual.
Yeah.
If they trip, they're dead.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Can you imagine, like, you accidentally just trip and suddenly there's a bus on you?
There's the woman in the red jacket with the blonde hair, and she's like kind of casually strolling, and she doesn't look that athletic, but obviously being a stunt woman, she is. So when she puts on the freaking gas, you just see her just freaking Terminator out of there.
Oh, dude, Hank Green. No, not Hank.
A Texas switch to a CG Hank Green. Falls out of frame, they take over the CG guy.
And then they hide him behind the car. That's sick.
Of course.
Notice how the car just slid sideways.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. In the tree branches getting hit by the T-Rex.
Whoa.
Oh, they had it all planned out.
Oh, the tree getting hit. These are the
Dude,
sets I would kill to
the
be
car
on.
going up and down, like all these different things. Like, all right, this car's gonna move, the tree's gonna shake, the bumper's gonna go up and down, and then there will be a dinosaur.
Dude, they freaking crushed it. That's so cool.
There's a very, very nicely lit and comped shot here too that's coming up. The T-Rex walks under the pavilion. The lighting here.
Dang, that's so much more
Yeah.
difficult than single source.
Yeah.
It's so much more difficult. You can get a sense of that CG rendering on the T-Rex. Like, it doesn't have like shadows where it should. It doesn't have these little soft, dark shadows in the folds of its skin. It doesn't have quite the correct reflectivity and changing light values from the light bouncing off the ground as it runs. Because all this stuff is probably being placed by hand. People are placing lights above to match the lights of the gas station, and they're placing lights below to try to estimate what the reflectivity of the light coming off the ground would be. Based on the technology at the time, they're not running an HDR, they're not photo scanning the environment. Like, this is truly artists just putting in lights and trying to line it up. And here's the thing, if you're an artist, you can go out with like a paintbrush and paint a photoreal portrait or a still life. You can take a janky 3D program and get photoreal renders out of it because you know what it needs to look good.
That was a fun episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed it as well, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.